are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Everywhere. Why? Because I'm on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I bring you this show with topics that there's no gossip, there's no scandal, and no K words, no Kanye talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So if you've missed any of my past 900 plus shows, yes, we're coming up on 1,000 this next month near my birthday, August 10th. So we'll figure out what special thing, but every day is a special day on this show because I get to give you my BS, my belief systems that hopefully will up-level your happiness. So today we are talking about a very important movie that I got to see over the weekend that is actually asking for support. And so anything that is beneficial to humankind, emphasis on kind, I'm going to rally to that call. And Sound of Freedom, if you have not done your homework that I asked you to do this weekend, please do go see it this week. I mean, not necessarily spoiler alert. I will not be giving any more than I think you will see in a trailer. But I do want to spend this day or this show specifically talking about Sound of Freedom, about human trafficking, about children being trafficked, and the reality as ugly and as uncomfortable as it is to talk about. That's what I have this platform for, to put the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. So that's today's topic. I hope if you've seen the movie or you know people that you went to the movie with to come and chat about it. You know that I am live streaming on Facebook, on LinkedIn, as well as my YouTube channel, which is a free subscribe. If you go there, you'll get an alert every weekday morning to let you know that I'll be on right after the NBC News here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. So you know the drill. I know I have some new listeners. I gave a talk last night, and wonderful people who were very, the word is receptive to the things that I was talking about. And I'm just happy to have you part of my Happy 88 family now. I would love for everyone within the sound of my voice to continue to practice and exercise their muscle of self-love and self-care, which I believe are the hallmark foundations of good mental health. And we do that by starting the day with gratitude. Gratitude is a spoonful of gratitude, makes life's medicine go down sometimes. And then the bottom of the bun is 8 things that you like about yourself. And I've been doing this for the past over a year now, and people know me by that. So let's get started. It's a Monday. I know it's not that easy to be grateful, but if you do this for 28 consecutive days, it will become easier and easier, I promise. So I'm exercising your ability to focus, choosing what to look at. I am grateful that I have a smartphone that I almost had to use because my
Mac was being temperamental on a Monday. I'm grateful that I have the ability, hashtag COVID silver lining. A lot of us realize that we could work from home, which is a blessing 88% of the time, and 12% of the time, maybe not. But in all, it's a wonderful thing. I'm grateful that I have Paulie in studio there. When I call, he's there to answer and help me with the show. I'm grateful for hot showers. I'm grateful for the gym downstairs that I did. I think I did 44 minutes on the bike, which is kind of a record, which kind of made me a little bit behind the eight ball getting ready for the show. And you'll see that I will be glistening throughout because when I work out hard, I seem to release some of the thing called sweat. I am grateful that I know that I can be disciplined about my diet, and I kind of want to do, a little bit more. So I had a little talk with myself this morning on maybe cutting out some of my tempura that I do enjoy. All right. Bottom of the bun is appreciation. And why I do that is a lot of us have a difficult time with compliments. I don't know about you. I'll have 99 compliments and one insult. And where does my mind go? Not to the 99 great positive things that people have said. I go to that one ugly. And that's a good sign if you're nodding your head that happens to you. That's a pretty good sign that you're a perfectionist and you constantly focus on things that aren't right because you want to fix them. But the downside of that is you never really are happy because you're constantly focused on things that are not right. So I want you to practice looking for good things, especially yourself, so you're not so apt to run around life with your antenna up looking for who likes me. And certainly social media has made that like a practice now. It's not a great practice. So what I want you to do is know how fabulous you are 88% of the time, not focusing on the things that you are not great at, being humble enough to understand you're not perfect, but to focus on what is good about you. So I appreciate that I am funny. I was married to a man, my husband, who told me pretty much on a daily basis that I was not funny. And I am one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma. And I had a high criticizer raise me. And so as a result, I got used to being criticized. And so I picked a man who was very critical. And one of the best things about divorce is I own my funny. And in the 40-minute talk I gave yesterday, I did have quite a few laughs. And someone came up and said, "You are really funny." And so I own my funny. And I don't need people to tell me, although it's nice. So that is my appreciation, that I'm funny, that I'm witty, that I am able to laugh at myself. That's 4. And I love my life. That's 5. I look for positive things. I put my life jacket on with the silver lining. That's 6. I like that I connect with people. 7 and 8. I'm a great public speaker. I don't think I've ever said great before. If you are uncomfortable with my level of self-love, that's okay. I promise that you will have a happier life if you don't base your mood on whether you're liked or not. And if you can generate that in and of yourself, you will be so much better off. All right. And that is it for having a bite of my gratitude sandwich breakfast with Dr. Marissa this morning. I hope you enjoyed it. All righty. Where are we going? It's Monday. Monday. I love Mondays. I had a series that was a lot of Kool-Aid, and not a lot of people were apt to drink it, where I said Monday's the new Friday, and they weren't exactly happy to adopt that, which is okay. And I just want you, as much as possible, to treat life with the respect that it deserves. We did a show, I believe, last Monday. My days are blurring because I'm having so much fun, on suicide, on taking your own life, on the actress Coco Lee, and then talked about life and death. And yesterday I was talking about with a friend, or maybe it was on stage, how time, people say time is money. No, time, unlike money, which you can make and lose and make and lose, is, once it's gone, it's gone. You cannot get that time back. It is not something that you can do over. So I would like us to really grab life and squeeze all it has and see how precious it is. So every moment you spend complaining about anything, your health, the way your body looks, the way your friends are, the way your insignificant other is, the way your machines are, every single moment that you spend complaining about anyone, anything, or anywhere is a moment that you will not get back. And it was funny. I was going to tell Polly, but I ran into that technical glitch around appreciating our bodies. You know, he's younger, Sam's younger, I'm ageless. But if I had understood how precious my youthful body was, I think I wasn't appreciative of what my body could do when I was younger, as much as I am now. So to all the young'uns who tune in, and I know I do have a wonderful youth following, and I appreciate that. I'm on Instagram, not on Snapchat, but TikTok as well. Just Doc Balance on Instagram. And Dr. Marissa Happy 88, or Choose Happiness, or something like that. Just Google Dr. Marissa, you'll find me. I would like a special Happy 88 challenge to my youngins to really this week appreciate what your body can do, instead of focusing on what it cannot do, or how you're feeling bad. You're not feeling bad all the time. Most of the time we're feeling good. And when you're feeling good, just like really grab a hold of the fact that you're feeling good and appreciate that. And I promise that the more good you feel, the more great things will come to you. All right. That is actually, I want to appreciate, I forgot to say this, or I'm grateful for the fact that I got on the big screen yesterday at Agape International Spiritual Center. I was so honored to be chosen, one of the 5, I believe, along with Dr. Martin Luther King III and his wife, to wish my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, the founder of Agape International Spiritual Center, a happy birthday. And that was a great celebration. So, big brother, I did not do this Friday, and I apologize. It was his actual birthday on Friday, and I'll blame it on Alon, my co-host, because we had guests on. But here we go. Happy birthday, dear big brother Michael Bernard Beckwith. I love you. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much for all the ways in which you saw me 14 and a half years ago for who I really am, beyond the pain of the divorce at the time, beyond the pain of the abuse that I experienced in childhood, beyond the limitations, beyond even who I was at the time, even in my successes, that you saw how much more there was to me and saw me who I really was. And for that, I will always be grateful. So thank you, Dr. Chief Sir Michael Bernard Beckwith. Thank you for all that you do. And for anyone who grew up with a God that needed anger management classes, and you're tired of being an agnostic or atheist, come on down to Agape. And I think live stream actually is going to be in August. They're closing down the Saban for renovations, but it is truly a place where I found out that I'm one of a kind, wonderful, and so are you. So that's the birthday for my big brother. If you've missed any of his past interviews on my show, please do go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, and you will get to listen to him talk about world peace. He was also on with Bob Proctor, who's the late, great, probably one of the uncle of self-development or grandfather of self-development. He was a great starter of even talking about these things from Canada. He's been on with Neil Donald Walsh, who is a fabulous New York Times bestselling multiple times author of Conversations with God. So all of those shows are available for you on my YouTube channel. So, okay, back to, let's see. We're going to see the trailer of the movie that is, I've never seen a movie get 100% on Red Rotten Tomatoes for the audience rating. And that is how I choose my movies. And here we go. Oh, they're offering the movie for free on YouTube. But I didn't know that. Let's see. I'm going to play the trailers. Let's see, official trailer for you now. And wait till the ad. And I am going to. All right, here we go.
How'd that make you feel? Giving a child his freedom. Felt good. You have been at this for 12 years.
My country, 'tis of thee.
Why are you doing it? Because God's children are not for sale.
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
This job tears you to pieces.
And where my fathers died.
And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
Land of the Pilgrim's Pride.
And yet somehow you have failed to bring me one real-world lead.
It's over, Tim. Close up and come back home.
So you quit your job and you go and rescue those kids.
Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring.
South of that river, it's all rebel territory. No one goes in. What if this was your daughter? So, she's gone.
Hear that? That's the sound of freedom.
Sound of Freedom is one of those films that can legitimately change this world. So we want to ignite a fire in audiences and open their eyes to the dark reality of millions of children that need our help. Let's make this film a historic event and the end of child trafficking. Theaters across this country are already selling out. Pre-order your tickets today, and you can send the message that God's children are no longer for sale.
All right. That was one of the trailers for the movie. And I did go, I believe it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday. And it was like obviously moving. And the topic is, I didn't think it was an uncomfortable one, but what's really interesting is the reactions when I say to people, you have to watch this movie. Because in my biased way, anything to do to help put light on areas of temporary darkness on our planet, on issues like this, child sex trafficking, to me is a no-brainer. And the reaction that I got was shocking to me. Now, I do understand because I have daughters, and one of the themes that came out was, he already found one child. And for those of you who haven't watched it, I don't think this is going to ruin your experience. But the main actor is actually playing this is based on a true story. So the agent was tasked with finding the perps and finding the I'm losing my terminology this morning. The predators is what I was trying to say. So his job was to take down predators, take down the traffickers, or take down the people who were consumers of child pornography. Okay. So he was told, that's your job. And it is not your job to rescue the children, because there's just like so many and too many, and that's not the job. So he made it his job because he just couldn't live with watching the children being trafficked. And he found one child, and his sister, and this is based on a true story, his sister was still in the system. And so he risked everything, his life, his own family, based on his heart being broken, and thinking about, he had a daughter, he had several daughters. And so that particular message of, this could be your daughter. How could you not go look for her? I can't rest until I have that daughter. And it's that theme that seems to be one of the triggers of why people won't watch this movie, because they're afraid of how they would not be able to watch the movie for fear of how it might impact the terror or their own fear about their daughters, and plant that seed in their mind that this may happen to their daughter. And I thought, biting back my own judgment and trying to understand that I have two daughters. And he does say, and I actually taped it. It's the only time I've not been afraid to tape something in the theater. I actually taped his appeal at the end that, and it's on my Instagram, Doc Balance. You can watch it, and basically he's saying it in the trailer is that we may be feeling fear, we may be feeling sadness. I cried multiple times during this movie for several different reasons, but the reaction that he's asking for, which is why I'm covering this on the show on a Monday, which is usually my coaching day, is because this film has the potential, just like Harriet Tubman, by putting To Kill a Mockingbird on the in front of people to begin to talk and change slavery of the African American, what's in the South. It has the same ability to motivate and for us to begin to rally around stopping this thing that's uncomfortable to talk about, uncomfortable to think about, uncomfortable to deal with, but we gotta deal with it. And the shocker is and Lee's online today. Thank you for joining me. Let me get all this out before I get distracted here, and then I'm happy to have the conversation. But the reason why I'm doing this is the producer was very open about not caring so much about the money that comes from this, and it's Angel Studios, and I have a new respect for Angel Studios. I never even knew it existed. And for those of you who are filmmakers, I am a new filmmaker. I'm almost done my third film. It's a documentary, and we'll talk about that later. But it's a site where they are. I love it, and they're going to get the Dr. Marissa Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today because they are using the medium of film to rally people towards things that are not humankind and that we can change. So this particular film was made, and it took 5 years to come to this. They had so many roadblocks, and what I wanted to do was wait for the show to do a little research that I like to do, unbiased research, unbiased as possible, on why this took 5 years. And I couldn't understand that until I spoke about the movie in a group and had that reaction by a lovely person who was reflecting and representing one of the possible reasons why this movie had so much resistance. And I'm shocked. But I'm going to look that up. Is that fear factor that people would rather not see something that disturbed them than watch it to be rallied to do something about it? And you know me, I'm constantly on my soapbox because I'm tired of seeing people just like see something and shake their heads and not do anything about it. Abuse. Athlete A is a great Netflix documentary. 13th is a great Netflix documentary about prison and the industry and why so many African Americans are in prison. Athlete A, the horrific thing that happened in the gymnastics world with the sexual abuse by the doctor. I had my guest, Chris Schrader, on the show to talk about abuse by priests. Snap was on my show to talk about that because I want to put the moose on the table and talk about, not to scandalize or the shock. I'm not a shock jock at all. I want to talk about the issue so that we can focus on the solution. Okay, so that's why we talk about it. So that is why I am bringing you the reality of this incredible movie, Sound of Freedom. So let's now, I guess we don't need another trailer, but I do want to know why So why, whoops, what is, whoops, is there so much resistance for a Sound of Freedom movie? Let's see what it comes up with. Okay. NPR. Yay. Let me show you what I'm doing here. This is how I do research on the show, and I do it for a specific purpose. Is if you're an influencer and you're out there sharing information, there's a lot of influencers who are unknowingly sharing things that are very biased. And let me show you how I choose what I show on this show. I actually go to this All Sides Media's bias chart and look at the middle. If you're a Democrat and you want to get things that agree with you all the time, go to the far left. If you're a Republican and you want things to agree with you, go to the far right. These are your news sources, but know that they will continue. They're not going to give you anything that is separate than what you already believe. So this is why I go here. NPR News is one of my favorites. So let's go see what they are saying about the movie and why there's so much resistance. Christian thriller Sound of Freedom faces criticism for stoking conspiracy theories, fueling controversy over conspiracy theories and its depiction of human trafficking. So, surprise, box office hit, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Okay. So for years, okay, so Caviezel, so he's the main actor, drawing attention to the film in other ways. For years, he's been a prominent promoter of false, violent QAnon. Oh, conspiracy theory. Okay, so that's the reason why. Okay, well, that I can understand. I'm not a QAnon fan at all. That doesn't mean that you throw the baby out with the bathwater for sure, because the reality of sex trafficking is real. The statistics that they are sharing say that it is, and I was shocked to hear this, it's an industry that is about to surpass the drug industry, drug trafficking industry. Like, what? I think the first one it's already passed is the illegal, what is it, the gun industry? And don't quote me on that one, but he does say that at the end of the film and the end of the other trailer that I used on my social media. So that does help me understand one of the reasons why I didn't know that. And I love answering my own questions, I guess. Let's go to my comments here. Lee, what's going on? Let's see. You're saying great to see you. Great to see you too. Okay. And she's preaching to my choir from the breakfast. Shannon. Shannon Simone Miller. Now, is this Shannon Miller that I got to interview? That's a gymnast, Olympic gymnast. I wonder if that is you. But anyways, Our is an amazing organization. If you're still there, I would love you to share what that organization is. And it truly is Shannon. Oh, okay. Shannon Miller. So nice to see you. I met her at an event at UCLA on the red carpet. I got to interview her, and she's actually on my red carpet playlist on my YouTube channel. And I am so grateful. Maybe you heard me talk about the Athlete A organization that is definitely putting the sexual abuse on the moose on the table to talk about it. If you've watched the film, Shannon, I don't know if you have watched the film Sound of Freedom. That's what we're talking about today. Anyone who has seen it and would like to actually come in studio to talk, if you're not afraid to be on camera, please do message me or put it in the chat and I'll give you the link. But the reason why we're talking about this is if we don't talk about this, if we don't share the movie. Oh, the other thing that Angel Studios has done is started a pay it forward program, and it helps people who can't afford to see the movie to actually buy a ticket for someone. And they've met their goal, which is great. But, we can always do this and continue to do it because it is a good thing. And you know how I love to share things that we can do to help. Here is the website. We're still at 100%, which is great. Let's see, you enter your zip code. Let's see what it will say. This is where it's playing right now. I'm an AMC A+ member, and this is where I'm gonna buy someone a ticket at the AMC Marina Pacifica. So these are all the people that are buying tickets for other people. And then if you already have your tickets, you hit the pay it forward. It's a very easy pay it forward link. They put a goal there. The great news is it's a hashtag 2 million for 2 million, 513% of goal, but that doesn't mean we can't continue this really wonderful response for this movie. If you can't afford the ticket, you just go to this claim a free ticket, request a free ticket. Let's just go this through, and that's when you put in your zip code. So I can afford a free ticket, and I am buying a free ticket for someone to go today. I won't do that because I don't want my credit card all over the place. I love y'all, but anyways, this is your Happy 88 challenge today. If you do this, for every person that does this, you also will receive a free audiobook copy of my #1 best-selling book to encourage you to do this pay it forward today for the Sound of Freedom. I'll be reaching out to the producer to see if I can't get him on the show at some point. I'm sure he's super busy. But I just love the fact that at the end of the movie, instead of a trailer for another Marvel movie, there was this appeal and the show about paying it forward. So let's talk about sex trafficking. Let's talk about the realities of the statistics because I want to. The truth about child sex trafficking. Now, if you go watch the movie, they will show, I don't even know how to spell that right. They will show how kids are literally in third world countries grabbed off of the street. They're playing with their brother, sister. They're in the front yard. They are wherever they are. They're just literally being picked up and thrown into a moving vehicle to be taken wherever and to be part of the selling of the child for perpetrators. And I'm also doing this show on this because one of the worst things that I heard in the movie was that I'm going to get emotional. that our country, United States, is one of the top buyers of sex slaves, children sex slaves. Our country. So if you're an American, and I have the largest listening audience I have, but I'm grateful that I have over 100 countries in my listening audience, but that's embarrassing. That's why I'm doing this too. I was born in Canada. I chose to become an American. I became an American at the first group after 9/11. And the fact when he said that the United States is one of the top buyers of this, no, not in my country. So this is why I'm doing this. This is why you need to see the movie. This is why you need to buy a ticket, so that we are continuing this spotlight on what we can do. Save the children. Myth versus fact. Child trafficking affects every country in the world, including the United States. Children make up 27% of all human trafficking victims worldwide, and 2 out of every 3 identified child victim is a girl. So, yeah, if it scares you that it could be your daughter, I don't want to scare you, but the reality is we need to understand that this is different than drug trafficking, gun trafficking, all of any other kind of trafficking, because you use the drug once, you use the gun or whatever is being trafficked is once. Children are being used multiple times. Like that's hard to comprehend, hard to even say, because it is disgusting. But at the same time, anyone that is saying that the movie is exploiting or the shock factor is that's BS, bullshit talkie. I watched this movie in its entirety. I did not shut my eyes. I'm extremely sensitive to things that are, ask my kids, like I have a very a strong startle reflex, or I don't watch things that are disgusting to me. This was so done so well that it was real enough to be disturbing, but not tasteless. So if you're concerned about that, not even a concern. Go and watch the movie. So let me go back here. Myth, only girls and women. Well, let me find one that all human. Okay. Trafficking. I'll stay informed later. Thank you, Save the Children. I'm wondering if this is the organization. I got to speak on stage with Mark Shriver, who is also part of a great organization. I think it's this one. People being trafficked are physically unable to leave or held against their will. Fact. Trafficking can involve force, but people can also be trafficked through threats, coercion, or deception. People in trafficking situations can be controlled through drug addiction, violent relationships, manipulation, lack of financial independence, or isolation from family or friends, in addition to physical restraint or harm. The movie talks about the real story of how these children were tricked into being left in a place where they thought they were being, modeling. So should you be careful about the claims that people make about what is happening to your children? Absolutely. I ran a children's agency when I was in that industry, and I can tell you that the promise of being a star or a model or an actor, those moms. I guess if you're old enough, you'll know Brooke Shields' mom was known as Corey Feldman, who's been on my show. Basically, his parents were using him as a child slave doing movies. And, it's not an uncommon thing. So the desire to be a star is used, I'm sure, to trick parents into allowing their children to be somewhere vulnerable that they can be snatched or trafficked, snatched and trafficked. Let's see. Trafficking primarily occurs in developing countries. Fact, trafficking occurs all over the world, though the most common forms of trafficking can differ by country. The United States is one of the most active. Where exploitation of trafficking victims occurs in cities, suburban, and rural areas. Labor trafficking occurs in the U.S., but at lower rates than most developing countries. If you suspect someone is a victim of trafficking, contact the National Human Trafficking Resource Center at 1-800-373 7888. It's a confidential hotline, open 24 hours a day. I'm going to put this in the chat for us just in case. You just never know if anybody is listening who may be someone who is being trafficked. All right, let's see. All right, that's a great article there. For those of you who have just tuned in and you're wondering what I'm talking about today, it is a tough topic. It is not an easy topic to talk about, but absolutely necessary because we can't keep letting this happen to children. It is, I don't know anybody touched by this right now, but I'm sure as a result of this, particular broadcast, we are absolutely going to, I know people are going to contact me and tell me about people that they know. So if that is, this is really long. I think it's an hour. Okay. It's over an hour, but we'll just watch the first part of it because I think it's important to get this straight from the actor and producer. I'm in love with the producer and just the way that he has done this for us to make it so easy, and the way that he's so open about wanting our help. So that's why I'm doing this. All right, here we go.
Put those pieces back together. When God tells you what to do, you cannot hesitate.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward on this because we've seen the
America. And there's this the reason why this is so exciting is because the viewers, the American people, have come together for this film and brought it to the #1 spot on the 4th of July. And it means so much for these kids. How, Alejandro, you texted me that day or the next day. And how did you feel when you saw that result? Because we were all trying to we don't know we're #1 until the next day when everybody's compiling all the numbers, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I have never been in this situation. Jim has tasted a little bit of what it is to be on the top of the box office. So
All right. I've just looked at the clock. We don't have a lot of time. So please do go and watch those. I will definitely be reaching out, and I didn't have enough time for this particular show, but I didn't want to wait until the producer came on. I absolutely know that this is something that I was meant to do, to try to continue to put light on areas of darkness. This particular studio, I had no idea that it is one of those places, and I love discovering organizations that are part of the solution. And if you haven't gone to Angel Studios, it's so awesome that they have melded this medium of Hollywood, which, not knocking movies that are entertaining, but using the forum of Hollyweird to actually present meaningful based on true stories, because this is life. So look at this, be part of stories that amplify light. Originals, they did The Chosen. You can sign up for free, you can watch things. So please go to that website, and I am now going to give Angel Studios what I call my Dr. Marissa beneficial presence beneficial presence on the planet award to Angel Studios. And I am out of time. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is a show about hope and happiness. Go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, so that you can come and chat with me tomorrow. I know that it is all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.